June 2012. A young man from Hunan came to the Milan branch in Haikou, Hainan, reporting that his sister, Lü Xiuyan, who worked in a foot massage parlor, hadn't been in contact with her family for more than 10 days. The police then launched an investigation. When they arrived at the footbath town where Lü Xiuyan worked, the police realized it was the manager of the foot spa contacted Lü Xiuyan's brother, Bao Dan, because he hadn't come to work for more than 10 days. He didn't even show up for his paycheck. This is very unusual, because Lü Xiuyan has always worked hard. She's never missed a day of work. The police visited and learned that the last time Lü Xiuyan appeared in the eyes of her co-workers was the evening of June 7, 2012. After the evening shift, in order to work conveniently, the house he rented is located on the floor of the footbath city. She had a boyfriend, Yang Changjin, who went with her. So, did Yang Changjin know where Lü Xiuyan went? Yang Changjin told the police Lü Xiuyan had met a Guangdong netizen. She met a netizen from Guangdong. He should have gone to look for him. Yang Changjin. He took out a text message sent to her by Lü Xiuyan. It says she wants to break up with her, and said she's going to Guangdong to join the man who's been good to her. Despite Yang Changjin's words, the police went to Lü Xiuyan's house. They searched the house. They found something strange. Lü Xiuyan's home is not big. It's only about 15 square meters. But with Yang Changjin's statement, there were a few things about the scene that caught the police's attention. The first thing, Lü Xiuyan's room was extremely clean. It was almost spotless. Secondly, after identification by his brother and friends, his clothes seemed to be missing. Thirdly, there are light marks on one of the tables in the room. Based on the size and location of the marks, the police easily deduced that there was a desktop computer on this table. But who would take a desktop computer out of town? Of course, it can't be ruled out 100%. Lü Xiuyan took the computer and clothes to Guangdong with her. So the police in Haikou contacted the Guangdong police. They found no trace of him by plane or train. There was no trace of him. While visiting Lü Xiuyan's neighborhood, the police learned that the night before Lü Xiuyan disappeared, on the night of the 7th, a neighbor heard Lü Xiuyan and Yang Changjin arguing in their room. The content of the argument, it seemed to be about Lü Xiuyan chatting with someone on the internet. This heightened the police's suspicion of Yang Changjin. So they started investigating. What did Yang Changjin do on the night of the 7th? According to surveillance and interviews, he stayed near Lü Xiuyan's house. He stayed at a hotel near Lü Xiuyan's house. According to Yang Changjin, he stayed at the hotel because he had a fight with Lü Xiuyan. He stayed out in a fit of anger. When he returned on the 8th, Lü Xiuyan was no longer at home. He thought Lü Xiuyan had gone to Guangdong. But the police couldn't find Lü Xiuyan left Hainan for Guangdong. And netizens in Guangdong said they've never seen her before. Besides, if she went to Guangdong to find a new life, there's no reason why she wouldn't contact her family. So is Yang Changjin lying? Soon, their attention went back to the breakup text message. The police found a phrase in the text message. You don't have an ID card. Why doesn't Yang Changjin have an ID card? Yang Changjin didn't say anything about it. According to Lü Xiuyan's family and friends, Yang Changjin said he was an orphan. He hadn't had an ID card since he was a child. But soon, a sharp-eyed policeman suddenly thought Yang Changjin looked familiar. Seems to be a fugitive. Looking for a fugitive in a murder case. So the Hainan police sent Yang Changjin's photo. and sent it to the Hunan police. The police confirmed. Yang Changjin is the man wanted by the Hunan police. His real name is Qiu Changfa. Hainan police took Qiu Changfa into custody. While waiting for the Hunan police to pick him up, they continued to search for Lü Xiuyan. During the investigation of Lü Xiuyan's bank card, the police found Lü Xiuyan's card on June 8th and 10th after her disappearance. A total of 39,000 yuan was withdrawn on 2 separate occasions. This doesn't match Lü Changfa's story, because both withdrawals were made in Haikou. But coincidentally, the bank's ATM surveillance was not working during that time. But in the identification of the bank's surrounding surveillance, police found, around the time of these 2 withdrawals, Qiu Changfa's body was seen before and after these 2 withdrawals. Qiu Changfa argued that he didn't have an ID card, so he used Lü Xiuyan's ID to apply for the card. In fact, he was the one who used the money on the card. But the police were skeptical. But things suddenly took a turn for the worse. While Qiu Changfa was in custody, the police from the Internet Monitoring Department notified that Lü Xiuyan's QQ was online again, but only for less than 20 seconds. And the IP address showed the login location was in Haikou. The police analyzed. It's very likely that Lü Xiuyan's QQ is in an automatic login state. Once the computer is turned on, it will automatically go online. Qiu Changfa had already been arrested. He couldn't have logged on. Then who could have accessed Lü Xiuyan's QQ? According to the IP address, the police quickly found a rented house. The owner is a young woman. The police found Lü Xiuyan's computer in her house, and the clothes that were missing from Lü Xiuyan's closet. This a tape. These items were given to her by her boyfriend. After identification, her boyfriend is Qiu Changfa. So Qiu Changfa was also cheated on by Lü Xiuyan. After he disappeared, he gave his computer to his other girlfriend. This increases the police's suspicion of Qiu Changfa. So far, the police haven't found anything. Who can point out the whereabouts of Lü Xiuyan, or any evidence to identify Qiu Changfa as the murderer? But just then, the property owner of Lü Xiuyan's rental house provided a crucial clue. The property owner said, Lü Xiuyan and the others usually stayed in the room. They only bathe. They didn't cook. The amount of water they used was less than 2 tons a month. But in June, in the first half of the month alone, they used a total of 7 tons of water. The policeman's nerves were immediately tense. That's 5 tons of water. Why? What are you doing? You need to use so much water at once. Is it possible that after the murder of a corpse, used to clean up the scene? The police came to Lü Xiuyan's house again and did a meticulous check of the bathroom. But they found nothing. They even spent 3 days and 3 nights to pry open all the floor tiles in the bathroom. Took more than 500 samples of the tiles, trying to find even a trace of Lü Xiuyan's blood. But the results were still disappointing. Meanwhile, the police from Hunan will soon arrive in Hainan to take Qiu Changfa away. Qiu Changfa in the detention center. He also provoked the Hainan police to interrogate him. Find the evidence if you can. He's so confident. Because he knows, as soon as he returned to Hunan, Lü Xiuyan's case will never be solved again. By now, the police are confident that Qiu Changfa did kill Lü Xiuyan by some means. But they still have no direct evidence. Before the Hunan police come to pick him up, there are less than 20 hours left. Can they find the crucial evidence? Sometimes crucial evidence comes at the most critical moment. A. The police investigating the curing of Lü Xiuyan's house found that On June 8 at around 10 p.m., someone used Lü Xiuyan's curing, called a sewer repairman. The police immediately found the sewer repairman. The worker said a man called him that night and asked him to come over to fix the pipes. But when he got to the elevator door, the man came and told him. He told him to give the man the tools he needed to fix the pipes. He didn't need to go in and fix it for him. The plumber said no. The man then said he'd be willing to pay more. So the plumber gave the man his tools. And the plumber identified the man who called. The man who called and gave him the money was Chiu Changfa. The policeman's eyes lit up when they heard that. Are you kidding me? What kind of person calls someone to fix a pipe, but won't let anyone in? If there's not a secret in the room, then it's a hell of a thing. In front of the latest witnesses, Chiu Changfa finally confessed to killing Lü Xiuyan. He said he met Lü Xiuyan online. They were very close at first. Since Lü Xiuyan was old enough to get married, she asked to get married. But since she didn't have an ID card and was convicted of a murder, she didn't want to get married. Lü Xiuyan often quarreled with her. She started chatting with other men online. Chiu Changfa was very unhappy about it. He also started cheating on her. That night, June 7th, the two had another heated argument. Chiu Changfa thought Lü Xiuyan was arguing too loudly. It's not good for her to be overheard. He became even more angry. In a fit of rage, he strangled Lü Xiuyan. After the murder, he went to a hotel and stayed there for a day. He created an alibi and returned to Lü Xiuyan's house the next night and cut up her body. During that time, he realized the pipes were clogged. He called a repairman, turned on the faucet and flushed the body for a long time to wash away the bloodstains. October 5, 2012. The police found the body in a local river in Hainan and a nursery. They found Lü Xiuyan's body turned into white bones.